I'd get up on the mannequin stand.
And you just
stand. And I'd stand there.
Would you stand like the mannequin?
I don't know why. Pizza rolls.
Yeah.
I blame that guy. Totino's
pizza rolls. Hey, when that was the high school, that and Hot Pockets. In high school, that was my jam.
Hot Pockets. Yeah, that's some good stuff.
If you weren't eating that when you went home, you were wrong.
Hot Pockets.
All right. I've got, so I'm going to monitor YouTube today.
What are we doing
Again,
here?
You're on Facebook. So
I'm trying to be on Facebook. So
we're
let's
live.
See.
There was a little glitch. It should be up now.
Yeah, it's up now.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. We're live. It says that we're going to be talking about the Leupold Delta Point Micro.
Yes, that's a hot video right now.
The first time you hear about it is when you see it pop up on.
I'm like, what are we? Yeah. Oh, that's what we're talking about?
Hey, Wes213, how you doing, man? Now, there's a lot coming out right now. There's a lot of new launches coming out. We're going to talk about a couple of them today. Then we're going to address kind of the state of our country and where we're going to do and what we're going to do and who we're going to do it to. I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
But lots of stuff.
We're up. All right, here we go. Gun Talk Live. Welcome in, man. We've been off for a couple weeks. Just been slacking.
No, we haven't been slacking.
We decided to all go ahead and get the COVID and check that off the list. Done. Back at it, and we're invincible.
Apparently we're invincible. But Michael had to shoot up to Michigan, and he was a ski bum.
Ski bum.
Yeah. He was digging the powder.
Gun Talk Live is brought to you by Lockdown and by Crimson Trace. I think the tagline for Lockdown is "Secure Your Lifestyle." If they're still using that. Crimson Trace.
Oh yeah. See it to believe it. Is that it?
We can let's make up a tagline.
You gotta see it to believe it.
See what you've been missing. That's probably someone else's. I don't know.
Is it?
I'm gonna get myself in trouble.
Hold on a second. No.
Lockdown and Crimson Trace. We appreciate their support.
Hey, I can tell you right now, Crimson Traces is Complete Focus.
Complete Focus. All right.
See,
I like that.
Look at that.
We'll go with that.
It's Complete Focus.
Oh, Charlie Chambers, welcome in, sir. I heard you were in D.C. yesterday. Anything interesting happen? Traveling back on Amtrak from D.C.
Are you?
Oh, yeah, Charlie was there.
Oh, you know what?
He was a witness.
He should call into your phone and we put him on speaker and let him describe what. Just put him up to your and
Charlie,
just to hear.
What was it like? Tell us. Yeah. So things have gotten interesting. But where do we would like to start today?
I would like to start with the video that we posted last week that has just blown up. It's got a little over 59,000 views right now on our YouTube page about the Leupold Delta Point Micro.
A lot of strong opinions about this one.
Yes. So let's start. I'm going to start with a story on how KJ screwed up. So, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and say this. Apparently, whoever won the Timney Triggers never got back to me. So guess what? We are giving away today. It's a Timney Trigger, so every comment is entered to win. So in front of me, you have the remnants of a GoPro that took a round.
It used to be a GoPro 5.
Yeah. And it's got to be stated that we have never, over years and years of filming, never hit a camera, never had anything like this happen.
We use GoPros all the time. We travel with them and we put them, they are kind of our sacrificial lamb because we go, okay, let's put the GoPro out there. If something happens, no big deal. It's just a GoPro. We have never shot a GoPro. But we had some guests on the range, and I won't throw him completely under the bus.
But we have a photo of him. I think we forgot to black out his face, but we won't tell people his name.
He was a part of SEAL Team 14.
Yeah. But so anyway, so what happened? And it's an observation that I made. So with this Delta Point Micro that we received, and it must be stated that that video was not produced from payment by Leupold. They sent us it, and we said, man, this is really cool. Let's go out and film with it.
All right, so the Delta Point Micro, you know that Leupold makes the Delta Point Pro, kind of a traditional setup, one of the standards when it comes to red dot sights. One 100%. Of the standards. And so now they've released the Delta Point Micro. No, it's not just a smaller red dot.
Right.
It's way different. Do we have it here, right?
We have it here. Right here.
All right.
Look at that.
Here we go.
This is it. Okay. I'm gonna move the GoPro out. So we.
So yes. So Leupold sent us this to just check it out, see what we thought. Obviously, they hoped we'd cover it, and since it's kind of neat, we were like, yeah, let's do something about this.
Yeah.
So
this is on a 43X.
This is a 43X to give you, I guess, some
size perspective.
perspective.
It is clear. I verified it. There's no mag.
So the idea is this is a red dot. You look through the back, through the hole, it's a red dot. And our initial things were like, this is super neat, but it's also, the window is very small.
Yes.
About the size of, what did we say, a 308 case?
It was a 308 casing. So if you look at the back of a 308 case, you're gonna, that's what you're looking through, is a 308 case. And I'm not sure if we can pick don't worry about it, Michael. Don't worry. So
you're never gonna see that.
I mean, it's gonna be so hard to.
All right, I'm gonna post the link. I'm sorry, we should have done that.
Yeah. So anyway, so I had plans to mount this on several different guns. So our video showed it on a G17. To be realistic with you, I should have just mounted on the 43X, but I was wanting to hop around. And in doing so, I did not Loctite the screws. Okay, and these are set screws, so the amount of pressure that's going into that beaver tail plate or beaver tail that they provide, it loosened up over quite a few shots. And banging it on table.
So turns out you should probably use a little Loctite.
Yes.
On when you're mounting an optic to a gun that
yes.
The optic's on the slide and it's reciprocating and going crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with this video, I wanted to call out some comments that we've had over our video that we posted. And the first one claims that we're shield. One of the first ones claims that we are shields, and it says, "How much did Leupold pay all of these YouTube channels to advertise this product?" So obviously, shield out.
I saw a couple things on some other social media channels. Kalian Noir had something about that as well. I mean, so Leupold sponsors stuff that we do sometimes.
Absolutely.
This had nothing to do with that. They just sent it to us, and we did a little thing on it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I don't know how you get by reviewing products and people don't automatically think that, like, oh, well, they paid you money to give a solid review.
Also, here's a funny thing to me. This may be on a tangent that has nothing to do with this.
We just wound him up. I'm going to sit back and let you go.
Where in the American Idol culture did we become all reviewers? Like, everything's pass-fail. Like, you watch somebody sing, it's either I've decided I like it or I don't. Or on a Food Network show, it's like, this chicken is a little bit dry. You're out of here. It's like, they cook a better meal than you could ever cook. These are chefs, okay? Everything is like, pass-fail. Nope, don't like it. Like on this thing.
Ugly.
Nope, don't like it. You haven't held it. You haven't shot it. You don't know anything about it. You saw a picture of it. I've decided, declared, done. I hate you and I hate Leupold. Like, give me a break. Shut up and shoot your iron sights if you don't know how to use a red dot. I'm sorry. I don't really have any strong opinions about it, though.
Don't be sorry.
We've been discussing this a little in the office.
Freaking 3-panel judge of everything that happens in the world. God.
Moving on.
Sorry.
We also had, we're just going to kind of work through it. The batteries. Because having to remove your red dot every year or two to change the battery was unacceptable. Now, removed every time you clean as a triumph of innovation. This is what happens when things are designed by committee and approved by marketing. Pointless.
This is, okay.
This is the whole thing.
Maybe
this is a result of people working from home. That actually, it's a funny comment, but it's completely false. To remove, okay, first of all, what I said in the video about having to remove the slide and you're going to clean it, I said you have to completely strip it. So if you're going to take this optic off, to completely strip, like you're pulling the firing pin out,
which
you're
most
pulling
people
the back
don't
plate,
do that often. Well,
right.
I don't.
I don't either. But, so if we're going to remove this slide, one thing you do have to do is you have to remove the battery cap.
Oh, the battery cap.
The battery cap. And so we're going to do that.
Is that really hard to do, KJ?
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Oh, there goes the battery cap.
Wow, that took a long time.
It is clear.
You gotta pull the trigger. Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
I would never want to have to do all that. You saw how long that took?
There.
Oh my God.
Now you can clean your barrel. You can clean, I mean, that's fine. Another thing that is discussed quite often is, what was our next one?
I'm gonna let you go in order. There's so many.
There are. I mean, this is a great one. That thing looks like hot garbage.
They don't like the looks of it.
Yeah.
There were some people that don't like the looks of it.
Which that was a thing for me.
Which is a preference thing. I mean, I can't say that you're wrong or right. If you like the looks of a Corvette or an F-150 or whatever,
right.
like that's a preference thing.
Which it's a preference thing, and then I'm gonna have to call out Joshua B1. He slides in a little subtle screw you, and says, just remember, everyone, the most important thing that wins gunfights is looks. Now, see what he did there?
See? Yeah, everybody looks, think about this. Some of the folks that are way more tactical and better shooters than we are, that go overseas and do things to people. A lot of times, they literally spray paint their gun and their scope and everything with Krylon. Like, they're like, I don't care how it looks. I just don't want it to shine so the guys see me. Like, it's not a safe queen, right?
Yep.
But, if you don't like the look, then don't buy it.
Yeah. Another thing is for the concealed carrier folks. Oh, you're adding length to the gun. Well, if you were on just right before, I was concealing it the whole time. I did not notice any difference. This is a contact.
So they're worried about it poking you.
Right.
Obviously, if you carry in the 4 o'clock position, it's not going to poke you. That's not an issue.
Right. It's not going to poke you. But for those guys who are fans of appendix carry, this guy, I thought, well, we have a contact holster. It has not been touched. I have not
modified or anything.
Haven't been monitored. And it is comfortable. I mean, it is comfortable, and I work with my draw stroke, and we're good. So I don't believe those comments. Those comments are largely coming from folks that haven't touched it.
Well, and it does depend, right? Body style, the way you carry, all that is going to affect all this stuff.
Another issue that has come up is, and I'm going to let you hit on this, is it's such a small window. It's about the size of a 308 case. I actually got a 30 case out, and I took some pictures.
Yeah, so it's really small.
So talk about that.
So, and I've kind of been looking at what other people are saying as well, because I mean, this is just one person's opinion. I'm not the end-all be-all, and I think there are a lot of people who are maybe more skilled as far as the real shooting instructors go and that kind of thing. And I initially thought, man, that's a really small window. Am I going to be able to pick up the dot? Because that's a big.
Are you going to get sucked into it?
I'm not worried about that.
Why not?
Sucked into it.
Yeah, like you're so like focused on that red dot. Are you going to be able to see the
If you
threat?
shoot both eyes open, you're going to be fine. Both eyes open, guys.
I'm playing devil's advocate.
Right, both eyes open.
Well,
but what I found was when we shot it, because this is dovetailed into the rear sight, it really does line up more closely with your iron sights and where you're used to pointing with your iron sights. And so it popped into frame really quickly. And it's hard to miss a glowing red dot. Even if it's just anywhere in that window, you're going to see it and you're going to go, oh, there it is. And you're on.
But I have a question.
That was a concern I had, but turned out it wasn't really an issue.
I have a question on, and we've had this question on, what if the batteries go down or...
That's a neat thing. So, and this is true for other red dot sites as well, okay? Everybody else, that's always a concern. Well, what if the batteries go down? What if, because it's an electronic device, what if something happens, it turns off?
Right.
Well, you need to practice shooting without that on the gun.
Yes.
And frankly, even red dot sights where you have a rear sight and a front sight, depending on your setup, you won't be able to use the iron sights as well, even when they both are on the gun.
Right.
This does work out pretty well as a ghost ring.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a ghost ring sight, and you've got your front sight still on the gun, so you can use that as a reference. And you just figure out at self-defense distances. I mean, yeah, if you're at 50 yards and the dot goes out, good luck with that. That's not going to work. But you probably don't have to have some emergency shooting situation at 50 yards. It's called run. But yeah, practice where your hits are going to be with it off. Turn it off. And figure out, okay, if I'm center of mass on a IPSC target or something like that, where am I hitting? And I bet you all your shots are still on target.
Yes.
Just something you have to practice.
And I do the same thing with archery. Guys that are archery shooters and they shoot a pendulum, which is a single pin sight, which you adjusted a dial on the side or a lever.
Based on the distance.
Based on distance. Yeah. So if I've got a 20-yard pin and I'm like, okay, that deer's coming in and was within 20 yards and I'm drawn down, well, now he moves out to 30. I don't have time to release, reset, come back to full draw.
Yeah.
I've got to know where that sight hits on the 20-yard pin at 30, at 40 yards.
Yeah, you need to adjust.
You got to practice.
You know your stuff.
Imagine
know your
that.
equipment.
Know your equipment.
James has a question. Can you still see iron sights through the glass?
Yes.
Or is rear sight replaced? No, the rear sight is replaced.
Yes.
You take the rear sight out of the gun, and this sight slides into that dovetail of where the rear sight was, and then it locks in place with 2 screws and some Loctite.
Loctite. Use
But yes, looking through the window, you can see the front sight, but you're not aiming the front sight with anything at that point. You're only using the dot. You don't use your irons unless the dot goes down. Then you can make sure, okay, front sight is in the ghost ring. I feel like I'm good. But you need to spend time practicing.
Yes. Price. This is the last thing I think we'll touch on this. I think we've kind of beat this site.
Beat the dead horse.
Yeah. The price. So in the video, the email that I got and everything, it said $399. Well, I think it's like $200 more now. It's like at $599 now. So that was a little bit surprising to me because I kept reading those comments and it was, well, for $599, and then someone saw it on their site for $519. Yeah, go check that real quick. But that to me was a little shocking because the information that I got stated $399. So I apologize for that. USA Carey says we are freezing up on his Apple TV. I'm sorry about that, guys. Yeah, sorry about that. It'll pick up. But anyway, so let's move on.
What's next?
So, next, a new gun came out, a new line of firearms came out from Savage. Savage Impulse. Ryan, tell them why this is a big deal.
It's straight pull. So straight pull. It's a bolt gun, but instead of going up and back and forward and down, you just go back, forward, back, forward.
Oh.
Safety. Yeah. So because I can't do it from the right side because I'm wrong-handed. So straight pull. Oh, you gotta I forgot.
It acts, so the bolt locks when it thinks there's a round in the chamber.
Let me make sure. All right, totally empty gun. Totally empty gun.
Run that accu trigger.
All right. Accu trigger. So super quick.
So.
And it's kind of comparative to, a lot of people may know the Blaser R8, which is a really great gun. It's Blaser and it's German, and so it's pretty pricey. I mean, you're talking like $4,000 for the cheapest one, and you're getting up to 5, 6, 7, 8 grand on the Blaser R8. This
American made.
Yes, this is American made. This is
$1,379. And this is the Predator line. So this is in 6.5 Creedmoor. It's got rubber inlays in all the right places. They've really done this well. This is the AccuStock with the AccuFit technology. So it comes with everything you need to adjust the comb, adjust the length of pull. AICS magazines in the Predator line. It comes in 22, 250, 243, 308, and 6.5 Creedmoor, Predator line. And you told me something this morning that I thought was actually really cool, is that you can change the angle of the bolt.
Yes,
And
so you can pull it out.
You can switch it.
You turn it, and you can swap it to the left side, which is obviously what should be done on this gun.
No. No, well, I mean, if you shoot wrong-handed, I guess you could do that. But I'm really, and we're going to talk more. We've got a Gun Talk Hunt.
Sorry.
I mean,